Hey everyone. So today I've been playing with some Christmas scrap from last year. I have this really large bag of Christmas scrap. And so I'm wanting to get, some of that used down before I start making my new kits and books and whatever. And so I thought, well, I would make some ephemera for the new things. Because I mean, Christmas colors, traditional Christmas colors can pretty much go with any pattern. I mean, even if I'm getting a different kit for this year, I think these colors will still go. And I saw this on Gayle Augustinelli. She was using up her Christmas scrap, and I come, through that, some great ideas, and I thought I would share some with you. And again, some of these were on hers, but I think that they're inspiring and maybe inspire you. So the one thing I liked best that I saw was a simple thing, and it was just words sewn to strips of paper like this. And I loved it. And she put them on a pocket like this. And I thought how simple, how easy. It's the easy things I forget about. I'm always trying to make something so extravagant that I forget about the simplest things. And this is tea-dyed Christmas paper. So I think I'll use it as a piece of floating ephemera because I love the back of it so much. My initial thing was going to glue it down, make a belly band that had pockets, but I don't think I can do that now. I mean, this is so pretty that I think I'll leave it for writing space. And then again, it has the 3 pockets. And then this is another pocket I made with the leftover scrap. I glued down a word, sewn it on, did a little bit of scrap lace, or well, crochet doily I had on this one, and just did some stamping. I think stamping is another perfect thing for your scraps because this was in there just like this. And I mean, it's nothing special, but just that simple stamping of it, I think it looks so cute in that little pocket. So this is ready to go in a journal, or it can also be a floating ephemera because it has lots of writing space back there. Then I love using packing paper, so I just made a pocket. Again, put on the word, left it as a pocket, so it'll be a double pocket once I glue it down to a journal page. And here's just another scrap. I just did stamping. I think stamping is one of the easiest things to do to change the look of your paper. And then, of course, I had all these little scraps like this, and I'm going to do a tutorial later because I'm going to use those for cards. And I think those will be neat. But some of my scraps, of course, I just stamped numbers, lots of numbers, because I love the tea-dye paper, and I hate to let I can't hardly stand when because the edges are usually the best, the grungiest, and so that would cut off. So I just stamped some numbers on. This is some very fragile book page that I was collaging to make it sturdier, and so I've just stamped on those. I think those will look neat. So I think stamping is probably one of my favorite ways of using up scraps. But back to these, all I done was I just random words. I printed them on tea-dyed paper. I did some whimsical ones, Santa Claus, reindeer, and then I did ho ho ho. Then I did the traditional ones, which I don't think I have them printed out yet. Yeah, I do. Okay, so these were my traditional, festive Jesus, North Star, 3 wise men manger. Just printed them on tea-dyed paper. This one isn't, but... And so they make perfect... I did some in red, some in black, and they make perfect ephemera. I mean, they're perfect to just stick on the scraps, even if you don't have a sewing machine. Some of them I didn't sew, like this one. I did several I didn't sew, but when I sewed them, it was so easy because I just glued them down first, and then strip after strip, I fed them through the sewing machine. So when it was done, I just cut them apart. My big long strip I cut apart. So that was easy. But just like this, I've got a vertical piece here. So it would bother me probably to put it as a pocket or horizontal. But on the side of a page, I had printed Jack Frost. And I think that would look neat if I could find it. Actually, he's probably laying out here. But I think these look so neat. And then I had some leftover words from last year that were, this is a digital actually, and I thought that looked pretty on some of the pieces. But I think on the strips that really aren't big enough to do much with, like this was just a little corner, so I didn't sew on this one, just glued down ho ho ho, did a little bit of inking around it, and this will make a nice little tuck in a pocket. And of course it's a writing space. Doesn't that look cute? That's perfect size. He's peeking out over the top. That will be, you know, a nice piece of ephemera to just fill in. Oh, here's my Jack Frost. Just fill in on something. But I think on this one, I'm just going to glue Jack Frost alongside of him. And then this can be like glued onto the side of a page. Wouldn't that look cool, glued onto the side of a page? Maybe do some sewing on this one. Leave it as a long strip. So I'm going to do that. And this isn't anything groundbreaking, I know, but I think sometimes myself, I forget the easiest things to make because I'm trying to make everything, you know, so different or whatever. So mainly I made pockets because I realized I don't ever mass make pockets. I don't know why, I just don't. And then hibiscus flower, I dyed some hibiscus tea, and this is wax paper. You know how I love dyeing wax paper. Just made a little bag out of it and put one of the words on there. But I think it's so strange that this hibiscus tea is red, and the only thing that stayed a red color was the wax paper and some lace. I dyed some lace and it stayed, but not real red, just kind of this pinky color. But my papers and such all turned blue. Really pretty. I can't wait to start putting them in things. And then if I just had little scraps of doilies, I just sewed them on as well. I think they look so cute. And these are ready for, you know, when I start putting journals together, these will just be ready to, I mean, that's a good size to make as a pocket on a page. And that easy. And she wasn't making them. Gayle wasn't making them. Someone had made them for her, I guess, and sent them to her. Here's another one with some lace. And I just thought, wow, why didn't I think of doing that? So easy. And it looked so cute. But these could be tag toppers too. I think those, I actually did that on this one. And I know it's long, but I was thinking, wouldn't that be cool to do as a hidden spot? Like this might be above a page and use it as a hidden journaling spot. And I just did a little stamping on that one. It's still not dry either. Look at that. I'm just smearing it everywhere. And then I had some of these papers. Some, I don't know if it's actually packing paper or wrapping paper. I think it's like that you pack meat in, and one side of it is shiny. So you can iron your napkin. This is a napkin to it, and it will stay. I don't know. I think if you tried hard enough to pull it off, it probably would pull off. So I was making little packets to put like this, little envelopes to put Christmas tags in. When I add them to my Etsy shop, I wanted to ship them in this, and this is a piece that's left. But wouldn't this make a cool pocket? I mean, we could even something like that on the pocket, or any of the, maybe a side tuck. Nice as a tuck on the side of a page. I think I'll sew around it in red. I would like that. So when you're looking at your scraps, I know again that none of this is groundbreaking, but how easy are these things? This is really pretty paper. Ooh, and it's been tea dyed too. Look at that. So we're gonna have to. I won't make that into a pocket, but maybe I'll make it into like a mini journal that goes in a Christmas journal, and then I'll cut this side off to leave as a pocket. How about that? Or a tag. Yeah, that might just be a writing spot. I like that. And then I could put something like that on it as a pocket. That was too matchy-matchy, but I like the Mrs. Claus. That's what I'll do. I'll ink around, and I'll glue on this one. Another fun thing, other than just stamping numbers, that I stamped some images. Like, I don't have it. You can tell I've really been busy. Got 4. I stamped some gingerbread, and this one didn't turn out very good, and some jingle bells. But I will do things like that for pieces, scrap pieces too, because I think that would make a nice thing to stick in the pocket or glue onto the pocket, something like that. And I just colored in his little buttons and tie and mouth and eyes with like a colored pencil. But those are fun things you can stamp out too. If you have any kind of stamps are my go-to, I think, for about everything. So I'm just gonna glue this to my writing spot here. And these 2 patterns were not in the same kit. They're not of the same line at all, but I think that looks really good. And then once I put it in a book, I'll put a little tag or something, like a little writing spot like this one. This may even be a little pocket, something like that. So this one, I will get some tea-dyed papers. Oh gosh, that's pretty. And maybe I'll just leave it as it is and not make a little journal. It can just be a writing spot. Here's some more strips. Again, it's tea-dyed. So I'm probably going to do it like an over-the-page kind of thing, so that it can be written on. I know once I tea-dye stuff, I have a hard time of gluing it to a page so that you can't see the tea-dye anymore. I have some lace here. So I'm probably going to put that on like that. Let's see what else we can come up with here to get one of my words. Ooh, this would be a cute one to put no peeking, since it's a fold over the top. Maybe I'll do it like this, and then it can hang over a page. Down a little bit. Maybe I'll tear it. Give it a rough look. Do something like that. No peeking in. I'll just ink around it. It's kind of fun to play with just a scrap bag to see what you can come up with, isn't it? Stuck my fingers right in that. I have to watch myself, because if I don't wipe them off, then I end up getting smeared on everything. Should I do it cattywampus like this? I think so. I don't know what cattywampus means. I remember my dad used to say it. that. And then on the back side, maybe just something simple like that, like Santa. And you can sew through these, just the words, not even sew them onto another piece and give it an extra look. Thinking I might do that. I think I'm going to sew through a couple of these, some of these words. I think that'll be kind of a neat thing. And then I want to add that to the top, don't I? Or do I? I don't know. Not feeling it. Ooh, but what about something like this? I had stamped on some muslin before. That would be cute. Okay. I'm going to save that for something else. And I'm going to sew this. It's not really wide enough. I like the tea dye better, though, than the plain. So maybe I'll just glue a piece to each side. I like those. Those will look cute pinned onto something. Forgot about those. I think I'll use my Fabri-Tac. I want both sides to look pretty, so I'm going to put a piece on each side. And that will be an over the page kind of thing. That's going to look cute. I'm going to sew through some of these real quick, and I will be right back. Okay, so while I was there, I went ahead and sewed some words onto these strips, too, that I think will be side pockets. And like I said, I just kept feeding them through my machine, so all I've got to do is just snip them apart. And this one will be like probably 2. I'm just going to leave it, though, till I can measure what size I want to put on my page. But, I mean, potentially this is going to be 2 different side tucks. Same thing with my Jack Frost and the winter. I'll have 2 things there. And then I've just sewn through some words. Snip those apart. I don't even know which words I just grabbed some words, so no telling what I even have here. But it was for this, and I'm sure this wasn't the right word. Did I have Santa? I don't know. But that's what's going to go there, Santa, because I have no peeking on the other side. So Santa kind of makes sense, doesn't it? Okay. I think it would have been cute to run stitching through the top of that, too. I think I will. Be right back. Okay, so we have a really cute little over the page writing spot. Didn't lose too much with my sewing. And there's the back. So that's cute. And then we made a little tuck spot. More writing. That's really cute. I could leave this as a writing and maybe stamp something inside. I love using stamps. I think I'll do the little typewriter. I love the little Dear Santa typewriter. I'll just use brown since I can't find my black. Oh, isn't that cute? I love it. I really like that. That's cute. All right. I like making easy things out of scraps. One little stamp, and to me, it changed the whole thing. So I made, what do we got here? Some writing spots. Still haven't made many pockets, have I? Well, these can be pockets. These strips will be pockets. Guess I could make another little pocket out of this packing paper I had left. I got tons of packing paper. Acted like this was all I had left. Yeah, I wish it was. This is how I like to do my pockets. So I just fold it over fold it up. And it doesn't matter. I'm going to cut some of that off because we don't need that much bulk to glue it onto a page. And then I just open it up and cut right straight across where that meets, where the little triangle meets. So that when you put it on your page, it gives you a little bit of room. It's not sucked flat to the page. Because with packing paper, which isn't, this particular packing paper isn't the thickest. So I wouldn't want it to be, I mean, if you put a tag in and out enough, it's probably gonna want to tear. So that helps it to have that little lip on it. So I've just inked on some of the wrinkles. Make some more wrinkles. And then I also had some of these kind of, what I did with them, I stamped some little tickets that said 25, like this. Here's one that I added a little bit of distress ink in the background, and I like that. So I think I'll just use that one. And I only glued 3 sides because I think I'll end up putting something kind of small, like maybe even one of these little gingerbread men that I stamped. Something like that. Okay, so I have another pocket. That's good. That's really pretty paper, isn't it? I like that. This is tea-dyed too, but I think I'm going to make a pocket out of this side. Just use this. Maybe I'll do a corner one or something, an angled one, because I really like, I don't want to lose my snowman. Kind of making a weird shaped pocket, ain't I? But I think that'll look nice tucked into a corner. And then maybe use one of my sewn words. Or cozy. Should we put a little lace here? Running off the bottom. And then cozy on top of it. About something like that. Let's do that. I'm itching to use that lace, ain't I? One way or the other. Use a little Fabri-Tac. I'm going to let it run off the bottom. I like that look where it will run off the bottom of the page. Don't want to get it. I want my truck to still show. And then I'll just glue that right on there. And that's a really simple pocket and still very pretty. I like that. That's a cute pocket. That'll be cute. I don't know. I may leave that because I don't know if I'll cut that or not. We'll wait to see what journal it goes in and if it needs to be trimmed up. Here's some more of the paper, the napkin that's been ironed to a page. And then I have this where I cut out a deer, die cut. Wonder about putting that there. And just making it a tag. Or, let's do this. Use it as a stencil. Can't see it very good, but it still looks cute. Maybe if I had done it on lighter, some kind of lighter paper, probably should have done it on the inside. Let's do that. There, that's cute. I don't particularly like the way he's standing. It looks a little uncomfortable with his neck like that, but that's all right. So now we have another writing spot. I like how that looks. It's got to be able, I got to be able to do something with that. Probably going to glue it to something like this. I took some book page that was very, very fragile and glued it like paper, fabric paper, glued it to fabric. So I'm gonna do something like that too. I may just make this a pocket and then put something down in that. What about that? And then put So one side could have the pocket and one side could have the deer. I really want it on my Christmas paper though, instead of that book page, but I got an idea. Let's see if it works. I'm using Fabri-Tac only because I'm thinking on this napkin that's going to hold better. I don't know, maybe I didn't need Fabri-Tac, but that's what I used. What do you think about something like that as a tag behind that deer? I like that. I will probably end up backing this with some tea-dyed paper, because right now it's just fabric and you couldn't write on it or anything. So it really doesn't have a purpose other than it just looks cool. But I might put that as a tag topper on it. So that's cute. So I know that wasn't very exciting, guys. Those are my ideas. I like the stamping. I like the words that have been sewn. Doing them to paper. I think we made some really kind of cool different stuff. So there's a writing spot with a tag. Stencil on the back. Another pocket. I made 2 pockets. Some bands that will go, tuck spots that will go on the sides of our pages. Some writing spots. Over the page spots. Writing spots with pockets. And I'm really thinking this is going to be a hidden journaling card. And I'll figure out something to do with these pieces because they're really cool. Another pocket. I hope I've inspired you, give you some ideas. I'm going to keep messing with these. Ooh, this is a pretty one. I think I already showed that. I'm going to keep messing with these and hopefully get this bag of scraps used up so that I will be ready when I'm creating my new Christmas journals. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you next time. Bye.